Thanks for the support as a channel member, David Pritchard. Boys and girls, today we look to right two wrongs. We have two pieces of unfinished business. Unfinished business number one, we haven't won the Premier League yet in this save. We tried with Tottenham. We really tried. It didn't work out, but we've now gone on our little European tour. We've dominated in Germany with Bayern Munich. We've dominated in Barcelona with Barcelona. There you go. I didn't call it Spain. The whole way through I called that Catalonians. Finally, I've won you over. We dominated Europe with both, but now we return to England to try and get an elusive Premier League trophy. But unfinished business number two is, of course, Manchester United are the team I managed on the beta way back at the start of Football Manager 2020, and we never actually won it with them either. So this is going to be cathartic on multiple levels. But of course, we can't do all that telecommuting from Barcelona. So job one is we need to find somewhere to live back in England. And just in case any of you doubted it, there's your confirmation. Barcelona all the way down here, Manchester all the way up there. Apparently it's a 5-hour flight. Again, flight's disrupted due to what's going on in the world at the moment in real life. So, and we might have to cycle. If we cycle, it's quite a long way. It's going to be a 90-hour cycle, which looks like we have to cross some mountains, presumably as we cross from Spain into France. I guess that's mountains. That's probably why they put a border there. Failing that, we could walk, which is going to take even longer. We don't really want to walk. We could get the train, but it's multiple trains. To be honest, I think I'm just going to drive. It's only a 19-hour drive. We can just, I mean, there's a lot of roadworks in France. Goodness me. Through the tunnel, sorted. And then what we're driving towards is, of course, our new house. We've gone on the good old Halifax mortgage calculator. Other mortgage calculators are available. You wouldn't know it from watching my videos, but Halifax, the sponsorship opportunity is still there. But I've put my new salary in. It says I can borrow up to £38 million. Little known fact about the north of England: you can't spend £38 million on a house up there. The most expensive one I could find within 30 miles of Manchester, £12.5 million. And it doesn't look too shabby. I don't know what, I mean, imagine what 38 million would buy if this is what we can get for £12.5 million. What I particularly like about this house is the non-specific room uses. We've got 5 to 13 bedrooms. It's like they've just thought, this is a big house. I'm not going to count. There's somewhere between 6 and 12 reception rooms. I get that. You could probably say some rooms could either be a bedroom or a reception room. What confuses me even more, though, is they're listing this as 4 to 7 bathrooms. There's somewhere between 4 and 7 bathrooms in this house. Some of them we just weren't sure. How can you not be sure if something's a bathroom? And I know what you're all thinking. Kev, this is all well and good, but has it got a decent quantity of chairs? You're a rich man now. You need your chairs. Well, worry not. I've done some pre-advanced scouting on this. We start off with some outdoor lying down chairs, but then we get into the real business. Look, that is a room that's literally just chairs pointing in all directions. There's no telly in there. That's chairs pointing at chairs, pointing at chairs, pointing at chairs. And here, just on the edge, you can see there's another chair for people to watch the people sitting on the chairs. That is my kind of room. Ceiling shot, loads of chairs, chairs for days, just chairs upon chairs upon chairs. They've got 2 dining rooms, for goodness sake. These are chairs pointing at a weird chair with no back. More chairs, wall, more chairs. They're just, they love a chair around. I mean, look at it. Look. It's the mark of wealth. We know it's the mark of wealth. And they've, I mean, there's even somewhere to store all my, imagine that, just full of Diet Coke. I don't drink, but I do love a Diet Coke. I'll fill my Diet Coke cellar. It would be amazing. That's where we're going to be living. Hopefully, whilst celebrating another Champions League win and Premier League win and all that. Shall we meet the team? You've had enough of chairs now, haven't you? Hello and welcome to Club 7, Part 1 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and welcome to Manchester United. Here is your confirmation that I am the new Manchester United manager. If you want the full detail about how I got here, watch back the previous episode, and that's how we how we left Barcelona. There's your confirmation. I did leave Barcelona. Manchester United paying £20 million in compensation for me. This will please the new United fans as well. Chapman rejected the offer from Manchester City. I've obviously got Champions League wins with 2 different clubs, but still the thing they focus on in this breaking news story is my humiliating European Championship exit at the hands of Ukraine. There must be something else they can focus on after the career I've had. For goodness sake, let's meet the club. This is Manchester United. Technical director Nicky Butt, assistant manager Gary Neville. Are we getting the whole band back together? Is that what's happening here at United? Media prediction is first. They finished 3rd in the Premier League last year, which was enough to get the previous manager sacked. So I need to actually make sure we're doing that, I guess, which is what we're here to do. We're here to win the Premier League, really. If we continue to skip through, this is the current team. Apparently, they like a diamond, so that's a positive thing. Cristiano Ronaldo knocking around as a left-back. Al Trichter, I've been pursuing for years. I think he's probably the best goalkeeper in the world. And then Burke, who we had at Bayern Munich and deemed not good enough there, probably knows his days are numbered. He's going to be playing the Alex Catamol role as we look to move him on. We've been given a big transfer budget. Within that, they want us to play entertaining football, develop youth players. I'm not going to be here long enough for that. 2 seasons. That's what we do these days. 2 seasons to win everything and move on. But they want a Champions League semi-final, a challenge for the Premier League title. They're working on behind-the-scenes stuff. And yeah, they just want to continually challenge for the Premier League title. I'm on a 4-year contract, so maybe we won't just win stuff and run. We'll see how things pan out. So there's the confirmation of all that. Apparently, we've got some ongoing negotiations on, including, are we selling a goalkeeper? I mean, yeah, fine. Nicky Butt, sell him. It seems you were already working on it. I'm comfortable with that. Players in last year of contract. These are all things I can worry about off camera in a minute. We'll just confirm all those expectations. We really don't need a tactics induction in the year 2034. Introductory advice. We're not worried about any of that. What we are worried about is money. £500+ million in the bank. £167 of a transfer budget. Decent sized wage budget as well. And we need to get to my favourite screen. You know I love this screen. So striker wise, Arthur Humo is a French striker who presumably not as good as Philippe Leonard, who we've just had at Barcelona, who of course we know wants to leave. So we might immediately jump in for him. Sergio Sanchez is a 29-year-old Spanish striker as well. So looks like a couple of decent strikers. Keith Crown, who he's been elusive throughout my career. I'm surprised I didn't sell him before I arrived. He was sold by Tottenham the summer I went to Tottenham, but just before I arrived. I've wanted him ever since. We had him at England. He's great. He's mainly a wide player, but if we decide to pursue the diamond, he can definitely play up front as well. In midfield, it looks like we've got a 26-year-old Irish winger, Paul Sweeney, who was signed from Wolves a few years back. I've noticed him on my scout reports a few times. We've got Khaled Murbar, who's a right-back / right winger. I mean, this is my kind of player. Complete wing-back, who's just as comfortable on the right-hand side of midfield. He is going to make a mess of Premier League defences, charging up and down that right-hand side from right-back. Forget playing him on the right-hand side of midfield. He's my right-back. There was some suggestion we should go after Kryju. Why? Why when we've got him? I would say he's the best player at the club. Star rating-wise, I think he is the best player at the club. Apparently he's not. This guy is. Yossi Abutbul, who's a 24-year-old Israeli central midfielder. What else have we got? Let's have a little look. Who else we've got who's a star? Saul Marti is a 25-year-old Spanish international central midfielder. So we're good for central midfielders, it seems. Good for right back. And then we've got Paulo as well, who is an attacking midfielder. So I'm immediately leaning towards that diamond because we've got loads of strength in central midfield. We've got a fantastic attacking right back. And we've not got much in the way of wingers outside of that. I mean, Keith Crown, definitely I can use as a striker. The only winger who's really going to miss out on this system is Sweeney, but he can play left back. So potentially, I mean, he's not great at left back, and we've got Ronaldo there. Maybe we look to move him on, or maybe we look to keep him around the place as another option, so that we can switch between the two tactics the way we did at Barcelona. But my job now is to have a look through this team, work out exactly where we do need. There's loads of clauses we can take here. Work out exactly where we do need to strengthen, and go and do some transfers. And I'll be back with you when I've done those transfers, so that we know what we're going to be, what we're up against for the coming season. Right, after several minutes of deliberation, still not done any transfers. What I have done is put my two preferred tactics from Bayern and Barcelona in, and then set the team report to look for minimum ability of 3 stars. And there's an immediate gap in this squad that's emerging. So looking at the diamond, first of all, we've got decent strength everywhere apart from defensive midfield, where we have nobody. If we have a look at the 4-3-3, we've got some decent strength everywhere apart from defensive midfield, where we've got nobody. I mean, it's the obvious thing to do, isn't it? He's my boy who's been following me around all over the place for years, and there's a huge gaping void in this squad that is very much Vermonti shaped. Well, Vermonti, the little turncoat, wanted £550,000 a week to come and play for me, aged 30. I obviously tried to give it to him. The board obviously told me to not be an idiot and wouldn't let me do it. So looks like we have to prepare for life without Vermonti for the first time since early days at Tottenham. Can I win stuff without this man? Here we go then, boys and girls. Signing number 1, Philippe Leonard is a Manchester United player. He was on the verge of going to City because of the deal that I'd already arranged for him to go there. But of course, I knew the terms of the deal. So I just offered them the same deal City did. And of course, he wants to join up with his favourite manager. There you go. Favourite manager. He wanted to leave Barcelona all last year. He wanted to come and play in the Premier League. Now he's here and he gets to do it for me. Comes in as presumably now our best player at the club. Yeah, of course he is. I hope that's not the raid on Barcelona complete. I would still love to bring Vermonti in. Just need to give him a few minutes to calm down. Right, Leonard wants the number 9 shirt. We can't give it to him yet. We are going to give it to him. We'll just wait before we assign him a squad number until we get to that point. But Vermonti, I definitely want to bring in. Banfalvi, they're not interested in selling. I keep trying, and they've got no interest in selling. I'm just clearing out some deadwood here at United. But there's almost certainly going to be no Banfalvi. Remember, we did start at Bayern Munich without Banfalvi as well. So it's not unheard of to go and get him a little bit after the fact if we have to. But Vermonti, I definitely need to bring in. I've looked at Powell's as well, but Barcelona want 155 million for him, just as a flat fee, so we can't bring him in. Camavinga would be a third option, but he's old and not Vermonti. So Vermonti is the man that I want, and we'll just let him calm down, and then we'll go back and get him. We do need another centre-back. If we can't get Banfalvi, Serra, the guy I signed for both Tottenham and Bayern Munich, who we've never played, but we've never actually seen him play a game, he's available for about 80 million. He's 25 years old now, I think. Let's just double check all of those facts. Peter Serra, or Chera, I don't know how you'd say his name. Oh, he was showing as available for 80 million. Now they don't want to sell either. But he might be, he would be a very good option as another centre-back to come in over the top of the ones that are already here and just improve us there. But priority number 1 has to be defensive midfielder. And now we've bought Leonard, even with the players that we've sold. We don't have the money for Powell's, and it would be mad to go and get Powell's anyway. But if we just have a look at the defensive midfielders that are around, which I'm already doing, there's Powell's, who we can't get. Camavinga, who I don't really want. Merker is more a right back these days. Don't really want an anchor man. I want my deep lying playmaker. That's what makes my system work. I need a deep lying playmaker. I need a Vermonti. So it's got to be Vermonti, and if we have to pay him £500,000 a week, then so be it. Man United must love me already. We have our man, Matteo Vermonti, is a Manchester United player, cost us £87 million for a 30-year-old. We did manage to get him down to £400,000 a week. I know this seems excessive, for a player of his age. But, you know, if you've been watching the series, you know just how important it is for me to have Vermonti in my team. Look at these ratings that he gets. And he's coming back in to be the main man in defensive midfield again. Whereas over the course of the last year at Barcelona, obviously he was competing with Camavinga and to a lesser extent Powell's. He is very much my main man there again. We're building a team around him. And to that end, we've brought in his understudy as well, Richard Ungabezi. He's coming from Bayern. He actually joined Bayern after I left. I guess he was brought in as a replacement for Vermonti, that kind of player. He's another deep-lying playmaker. He can play at the back and in central midfield as well. He's not quite at Vermonti's level yet, but he's only 22, and he'll be a perfectly adequate backup for him. So if we have a look at our team report, we are now sorted for defensive midfield players. And looking at this, if we're playing this system, I think the obvious gap is centre-back. If we're playing the other system, have a look through again on the diamond. Again, obvious gap, centre-back. We've got 98 million left there, but we've got to stick some of that budget over here. So realistically, we've got 50 or 60 million pounds to bring in another centre-back. So that has to be the next job. Well, here's the thing. 6 years after resigning as England manager, they want me back. But I kind of want to manage Germany instead. Because looking through the best German players, it's my boys. But I can't delay England. Do I want to go back to England? I mean, a lot of these are my boys as well. Oh, the fact that Hudson-Odoi is still one of the best players. Francis Vance, 25 years old now. We signed him for Tottenham. Nick Carter, who we signed for Tottenham. James Few, who we tried to sign for Tottenham. David Kidd, who we had at Tottenham and now here at United. I just don't feel like England are going to win anything if these are the best players. I think we reject, and I'm holding out for Germany. I'm still young. I'm still, 51? 52? I'll get one more chance to manage England before this career is done, I'm sure. Maybe I should have taken the England job. Is it too late to go and apply for it again? I've changed my mind. Give me the job after all. No. Spain or Brazil. I mean, Spain and Brazil attempted. Do I want an international job? I mean, Brazil could be a lot of fun. Brazil could be a lot of fun. I don't even know why I'm applying for international jobs again all of a sudden. I really wanted Germany. This is England's fault. Well, that was just an instant no from Brazil. So, no international management for the time being, it seems. Who the hell is Stephen Vaughan? Centre-back. 5th best centre-back. Why do I care that he exists? I probably don't. He can go there. Sorted. I have my new centre-back. Does he look familiar? Joachim Hamann from Bayern Munich. Still only 25 years old. Played 51 times for Germany already. He kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit when I was there, bearing in mind he was part of a defence that had Tigges and Banfalvi in, and now Serra is there as well, and he's still playing games. So he's a good boy, 25 years old. He will come in as our best centre-back. He's competitive in defensive midfield as well, although a very different kind of defensive midfielder. But very happy with him coming in as our new top centre-back. And I think, looking at the squad, unless we sell somebody, we're done, which we kind of have to be because money-wise, we're definitely done. Or close to done. There might be room for a wonder kid somewhere. I would have liked a midfielder. I don't like the idea of having to play Burke because he wasn't really good enough at Bayern. But he's been playing at Man United regularly for 3 years. So perhaps he's not that terrible. And of course, if we end up playing this system, which we probably will start with this system because we've got Sweeney, we've got Crown, and we've got Humio, who's going to need to play out wide somewhere as well if Leonard's our starting striker. That means Abbott-Bull will play in central midfield rather than attacking midfield, and he can then play alongside Marty, which means Burke becomes a reserve along with Noah Carroll as well. So I think I'm probably leaning towards this system just because it gets more of our 4-star players in the team, although poor old Sergio Sanchez at 29 years old is probably looking at this squad thinking, I'm not really a regular player here anymore, am I? So if we get a big offer for him, I certainly wouldn't be against swapping him for a real good top quality 4-star midfield player. But if we don't, I'm not going to be distraught. I think this is a good squad. Well, I said we might be able to squeeze a wonder kid in. Consider this a wonder kid squeezed. Nahuel Chialoni, 21-year-old Argentinian winger, 4-star current ability already. Capped at under 23 level, comes in with a current value of £46 million. He's a right winger, if we can actually get on his report properly. There you go, a right winger who's right up there with Keith Crown in order of quality already. Can also play up front, where he's less impressive, but really he's coming in for this right-hand side and just to offer competition or maybe even start down that side. And I think we now have a very good squad. Strength in depth in all areas. If we put that up to 3-star minimum, so for the 4-3-3, strength in depth everywhere we need it. For the diamond, strength in depth everywhere we need it. I was pondering if we do go with the diamond, Abbott-Bull can still play in midfield because we've got Paolo, who's like an elite level attacking midfield player who's been a star of Man United for years. So there is a strong push to do this as well. We could do either of these systems, similar to what we had at Barcelona. We've got a squad that can do either of these systems. We'll just pick it according to who's available and who our opposition is. But I think that is the end of our transfer window. It's not actually the end of the transfer window, but I'm assuming nothing crazy happens from here. So I'm going to risk ending the episode now because, letting you behind the curtain a little bit, it's nearly 1 o'clock on the day this video is supposed to come out and I've still got to edit it yet. So let's wrap the video up now. 5 players in, 2 from Barcelona, 2 from Bayern Munich, plus a wonder kid coming in from Argentina. One of the ones from Bayern wasn't one of my former players, so I have an excuse, and none of them are Banfalvi. So again, that's also an excuse. We cleared out some of the Man United deadwood to make it happen. And I think we've ended up with a very, very strong squad. Do the media agree? Let's have a look at the season preview. We are predicted to finish first, and we've got 4 players in the media best 11. Old Trichter in goal. Sweeney, who's a left winger, but is in at left back in that team. Sierraki, who is a centre back, who I'd kind of assumed wasn't good enough when I signed Haman to go over the top of him. I'm not really sure why he's played so few games if he's of that higher level. And then, of course, Philippe Leonard up front, who is one of the best players in the division. And I haven't actually I don't remember seeing the favourite for top scorer. If Leonard's not favourite for top scorer in the Premier League this season, then they're doing the favourite for top scorer in the Premier League wrong. We'll be back tomorrow with the first couple of games of the new season so we can see... Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Oh. Right. Got to bear with me. 80%. We've already got... So we'd have like 50, 60 million to spend. Can we get a central midfielder? Shut up, Siri. I'm busy. Can we get a central midfielder for around 50 to 60 million who's better than Burke? One moment. Well, that's what I call deadline day shenanigans. We brought in 2. So Burke went to Arsenal. We got him up to £63 million in the end. We've also sold Andrew Bailey, who was a young centre-back who just, he came for our youth system. He looked fine, but was never going to be a regular starter. And Derby offered £40 million for him. So he went as well. So with those 2 both leaving, all of a sudden, we could bring in 2 new midfielders. Federico Baumgartner is an Argentinian international, 21 years old, 5 caps for Argentina already, 4-star current ability, 5-star potential, can play attacking midfield or central midfield. And then almost a carbon copy, but a little bit older, We have Khaled Allah, who's a 23-year-old Egyptian international, 50 caps for Egypt already at age 23. Again, can play attacking midfield or central midfield. 4.5-star current ability. So he's our best midfield player in both of those positions now. He's been at Marseille, and all of a sudden, our squad has just levelled up even further. Looking at, in fact, we need to add the 2 stars back in to get Ian Green back in as a backup. But let's not worry about that. Let's look at the 3 stars. So our midfield now looking mega strong. Abitbol, Alam, Marty and Baumgartner. Even with Bert gone, we don't need Carroll anymore. Defensive midfield, we're good. We haven't weakened the central defence at all by letting that youngster go. And we've still got money in the bank, ridiculously. Probably need to put it into the wage budget. Yeah, we could probably do... We need Carroll to go. We've offered Carroll out. We don't want to let him go. The transfer windows are still open across Europe. It's just here that they're closed. So hopefully we get an offer in for Carroll, because that will then bring us back within the wage budget. That's a window. That was a window. And that bit at the end was spectacular. So exciting. Right. I really will now wrap things up, and we'll be back tomorrow with the first couple of games of the new season. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.